such a veteran group in terms of guys who are both returning and guys you've added. What what's different by way of expectations from them now in camp and right even out the chute? Because you're not talking about second or even third year guys. You're talking about like sixth year guys and fourth year guys.
Yeah, I think I've walked into a really good situation here. With the guys who started last year and the additions that we made from the transfer portal, I think we've got a lot of talent, some experienced guys who've played in real games, in hostile environments. They've been through a couple fall camps before as a group. We're helping each other. They're helping me grow. I'm helping them grow, trying to help them, be better players than they were last year. And I think it's been good so far, really good.
Do you prefer field boundary, or do you go left, right?
During camp, we're doing left, right. Right now, teaching guys left, right, just so we can get the best guys on the field at all times. But there may be some times that you'll go field boundary, just depending on the guy's skill set. But right now, we're kind of playing left, right.
Are there specific skill sets needed to play one side or the other right now, or is it really?
No, it's really not. I tell you, we got some guys that got a lot of different skill sets. So it's kind of right now, it's like there's no one who. Sometimes you do if a guy has a deficiency, but I haven't really seen any out of our guys so far. They're all adjusting and doing both, and so we hadn't really put a lot of thought into who's best field the boundaries. A lot of times it depends on what the call is.
In spring, I think you said Steve was the guy who was maybe most comfortable making the calls and stuff like that. Has that changed at all? You feel like guys have caught up?
No, I think a lot of the guys are comfortable making the call. I think Steve has done a great job, obviously. He's been here for a long time. I don't know if it's 5 or 6 years. He's been here for a while, so he's played a lot of football. Brian Addison has done a great job. And then, Ty Sheem and Evan, those guys have done a great job. I tell you, our freshmen, Cody DeCambry, Tyler Turner, those guys have really, Colin, they've caught on really, really fast, a lot faster than I thought they would, because we've got a lot of volume into our defense. But they've done a good job of adjusting, and, they've been here throughout the summer, so it's been good for them.
Any surprises so far in what you've seen out of these guys?
Nothing too crazy. No one has really surprised me yet. We've got a lot of guys competing. That's something I really can say. It hadn't been any just one, just a surprise. Like I didn't think they couldn't do it, but they're all kind of stepping up and competing, amongst each other, making a lot of plays in practice.
Over the last year, players, former even guys who've since left, talked about how if BA could just poured in everything to really maximize and put it all together, that he could be that guy.
Yep.
And obviously his length is unique and his size is unique. What have you seen before camp started in terms of off-season stuff, in terms of the things of where you say, this guy is now putting in, you don't have the perspective of relative to last year, but even relative to spring, he's putting in more to, this is his last year to make it work?
I think he's really improved his conditioning. I watched him in the off-season this summer running. He pushed himself. He was straining to be first. He has really took that to heart, that he wants to be the best football player he can possibly be his last year playing football here. And I think that it really started in the offseason. He's gotten better in the weight room, and you can just see in the offseason conditioning, and it's carried over to practice with how hard he's going. And I've been really pleased with his work ethic and how he's done, each and every day so far.
How many guys do you have maybe cross-train between nickel and then those deep positions? Are there guys doing that like they did in the spring?
Yeah, we're still doing the same thing. We've got some guys who are playing corner in nickel. We got some guys who are playing safety in nickel. We're rolling about 7, 8 guys. Coach Martin and myself are both, dual training guys. So we're kind of doing it. We got some guys playing corner and safety. We're doing a little bit of that, just trying to really, as a secondary, trying to use different body types and, how can we get the best 5 on the field or 6 and then have the, enough subs so guys don't get burnt out. So we've been cross-training a bunch of guys, really.
Do you get to a point in the season, though, where it's just you put a guy to spot and he sticks there, or is it continual throughout the whole deal?
He's an elite coach, man. He's doing a hell of a job. I know that much.
Well, he's doing a hell of a job. So, but no, I think that during the season there are some guys that'll play, different spots, so you can zero in on the game plan. But there are a lot of guys that you would like that could do a train, even in the season, and you could play guys in different packages. We have a lot of different personnel packages. It's not always the same 11 on the field, depending if it's third down or if it's second and long or whatever the case may be. There's different guys go in. So we try to give guys more reps, and, the more guys you play, the more buy-in you have.
When it comes time to determine on Ty Sheem in particular about deep safety or nickel, though, since he played a lot in the box at Ole Miss, how much of that is dependent on what you see from him, and how much of that is dependent on Cole, Jaleel, Kamari at nickel, and where your comfort is on a true freshman or a guy who just hasn't played as much as Ty Sheem has?
Yeah, it's just like you said, you got Cole, Jaleel, you've got you've got Evan, you got BA, you got a lot of guys who are competing for a lot of spots. And one of the things that Ty Sheem has shown us is that he can cover in the slot, which he didn't have to do a lot at Ole Miss. Not saying he couldn't do it, but that just wasn't a lot of what they did in their scheme. And he's shown the ability to be a pretty good slot cover guy. So that just makes us better with him having the ability to do that. So he can play, either safety spot or he can play nickel.
Where does Damon
David.
fit? Yeah, where does he?
Yeah.
Like, just because he was injured in the spring. And
Yep.
Where is he right
Yeah,
now?
right now he's working at both safety spots. He really is, and I tell you what, he's doing a good job. He has a great sense of what we're doing. You know, even in the spring, he came to every meeting, took notes each and every day. I really admired that about him, and he's busting his tail and trying to get back out here and give us all he has.
Evan was telling us on Monday that he feels a lot more comfortable after being here for just a couple months. How have you seen that play out in the field so far?
Yeah, really well. He's much more comfortable in what we're doing, knows what we're doing. He's an older guy, but like I said, a lot of times terminology just changed. You know, what he called things at Fresno may be a little bit different than what we call it here. He just had to learn the language, basically what it was. He's got adjusted to it. He's worked hard in the off season, in the spring, in the month of May, just bonus meetings. How can he get better? He wants it. I can tell you that he really wants it, and he's putting the work in.
Where does Colin Gill fit in terms of the positions? Is he?
Yeah, Colin Gill, he's another guy. I think he was like a corner in high school,
Yeah.
And now we're playing him at safety, playing him some at star. He's doing a little bit of both. It's only been 3 practices in, so it's kind of tough to tell just yet. We hadn't hit anyone, had a real scrimmage or anything like that, so we'll kind of see as it goes. But I tell you what, he's done a good job of learning so far. I've been impressed with that.
How do you go about attacking situational awareness? Because again,
Yeah.
it's an issue from last season, 3rd and 7
Yep.
plus. All
Yep.
right, get veteran guys. Theoretically, they should know that.
Yep.
How do you go about attacking and making it better?
Yeah, I think that the big thing is Coach Lanning does an excellent job. I've taken a note of this. I have never seen this happen. Every day after our walkthroughs, he goes through situations. And we do that all fall camp, I think. Where he attacks 3rd and long, sequence and, 2 minute, whatever the case may be, a different situation each and every day with the entire team. He talks about the offensive philosophy, the defensive philosophy, shows examples from around the country. I think it's very beneficial for us as a team. Coach Tosh, he does a great job every day in the unit meeting talking about the situation. We practice every day a different situation. Like we did on the first day, we did 2 minutes, on the first day of practice, because a lot of games come down to the last 2 minutes of the game, in this, in college football, it's competitive. So he does a great job of that. So I think those guys are really taking the reins of it, and I'm just trying to piggyback on it every day.
What's it been like just working under Tosh as a co-DC? Anything unique about him as a
Man, I tell you what, the big thing with Tosh is he brings energy and enthusiasm each and every day. Like he brings it. This guy's a relentless worker. He's here late nights, early mornings. I don't know when he sleeps. No idea whenever he sleeps, but he's relentless. He loves it. He wants to be great. So my job is to just try to help him be the best version of himself he can possibly be. Try to assist him. I give him, if I see something, hey, Tosh, how about this? And he's great. He's open to ideas. He's not stubborn at all, anything like that. So I love working with the guy. And I'm just trying to help him be the best coordinator he can possibly be.
You go about
Last question.
learning some of these guys. We talk about to get real meetings and
Yep.
learning guys' whys. When do you go about learning, and when you did learn about like BA in particular?
Yeah, so one of the big things is I think that, I learned this when I was a player, people, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so I tried to, when I first got here, have a meeting with each and every guy. Each and every guy in the secondary, I met with the linebackers, I met with the defensive linemen. And just had one-on-one meetings with them, not about football, but about their lives, their family dynamics, and tried to, find out about them as a person. Because if they know that you care about them as a person, they'll give you more as a player. And that's one of the things I think football has done for me, is that coaches have always been a major influence in my life. I was born in a single-parent family, so for me to be here has been a blessing. I wouldn't be here without coaches. So that's what I try to do, is try to be a mentor to these guys, and to get real meetings have been really good for that. And I hope that could be my ministry.